Painting the sky wet on wet with a very watered down ultramarine and some Naples yellow deep. You could use cobalt blue and some raw sienna. I'm using a size 8 round brush and I'm going to allow my painting to dry. Once the painting is dry, I'm going to wet the foreground carefully around the two little figures here, the two girls walking with this, looks like a basket of baubles, but it could be a basket of presents or even a basket of apples. And I'm actually painting the basket there with some Naples yellow deep. You can use raw sienna, yellow ochre, or even quinacridone gold. I'm actually painting a really dilute wash on the snow area and I'm going to allow the painting to dry again. Once the painting is dry, I'm actually very carefully wetting the sky again. I wanted to seal the sky and then paint the trees wet in wet. I didn't want the tree paint to mix with the sky. I may lose my sky altogether if so. And in the photograph, the trees are out of focus, and to give that impression, a really good technique to use is wet in wet. I'm using a large, flat, soft-haired brush, and this enables the brush not to disturb the surface of the paint, because watercolour isn't permanent, so you can actually disturb the underpainting and it can get quite muddy and you can create backgrounds and all sorts of watermarks that you may not want. So I'm using some sort of a violet colour here. You can mix up ultramarine and some pink, and I've added a little bit more ultramarine there as well to create some darker tonal values towards the bottom of the trees there, working wet in wet so the colours sort of mix on the paper as well. And I've got a slightly lighter green here. I've used a little bit of Indian yellow. You can use cadmium yellow or even lemon yellow with some ultramarine. So I'm carefully painting around the hood and hat of the two young girls here, working wet into wet, just varying the sort of colours, using a little bit more of the yellow and burnt sienna mixed, a light green with the yellow with a touch of ultramarine, as you can see I'm using here. So it really creates that variety of colours, but also look out of focus because I'm using the technique of wet in wet. If you'd like a full list of all the materials I'm using and the colours and colour alternatives, why not check out the description below. Just click show more on the left hand side below the video, or a little down arrow on the right hand side below the video, and that will reveal a description where you will get lots more information and also a link for this gorgeous photograph and links for the materials that I've used as well. So while the painting is damp, I'm just sprinkling some ordinary table salt onto those damp trees to create some texture. If you'd like to learn more about using salt in watercolour, why not check out the description below. I've got a link for a video I made there all about using salt. So while the salt is working, hopefully, I'm painting the trousers of the girl on the left using some Payne's grey with a touch of violet, wet on dry with my size 8 brush. To create some light on the left hand side of the trousers there, I've lifted off with a damp brush. I'm painting the cape of the young girl on the left now using my size 10 brush with some bright red and a little bit of pink as well, maybe even a touch of violet for the shadow colours. What attracted me to this photograph was the lovely bright red against the sort of snowy background, and it looks so Christmassy, and I haven't actually painted any people for a while, so I thought it'd be quite nice to include a people painting, albeit they are children, to create this lovely sort of festive scene. And I've deliberately sort of chosen a photograph where you've got the backs of the children, so you don't have to worry about painting portraits or even really sort of painting sort of hands or the neck or anything like that. Usually painting sort of boots from the back are a little bit easier as well. So hope you're not too intimidating, and we'll give this one a go because it's really nice to paint. I'm painting damp into damp now using some violet and red as a shadow colour, so it's quite creamy, and I'm painting some of the shadows on this cape damp into damp. To get your brush damp and clean, make sure you really rinse it, and then, as you see here, wipe it off on your paper towel and then lift off and repeat the process, because otherwise your brush has become contaminated, and that way you get some lovely soft highlights. So as you can see here, I've painted the boots of the girl on the left, wet on dry, using Payne's Grey with my size 8 brush. So it's quite a dark colour. Don't be too full that it's too creamy. It's actually still got the light and white coming through on the paper. And again, I'm lifting off some of the lighter area on the left-hand side there, and it creates a really soft, subtle light. I'm going to be painting the girl's berry now and the baubles in the basket along with the basket as well, using very similar colours and some yellow ochre with a touch of burnt sienna for the basket. Then I'll follow on with the girl on the right, painting her pretty red coat, wet on dry, and then painting shadows wet into wet using violet and red, and then lift off some very subtle soft highlight using a damp clean brush. So just finishing off the handle there, I think it's a good idea to allow my painting to dry. Once the painting is dry, I'm working with my size 4 round brush now with some Payne's Grey, working on the shadows of the boots here. And now I'm painting in some of the details of the trees in the distance, mainly the tree trunks there, the ones that are in the middle distance, using some burnt sienna with a tiny touch of ultramarine, pretty much with my size 4 brush here, or a size 6 if you like, working wet on dry, just working on these branches here, just a few. I've tried to sort of minimize the details here. Remember, in watercolour, less is more. painting a few more very sort of thin sort of tree trunks in the distance there, using a paler version of the ultramarine and burnt sienna. I think it's a good idea now to allow my painting to dry. I'm painting the girl on the left, her hair, wet on dry with my size 4 brush, using some yellow ochre, adding a little bit of burnt sienna, wet into wet, and then finally adding burnt sienna mixed with some Payne's grey for the darker shadow colours in this girl's hair, working damp into damp. Just painting some of the details on the girl on the right, her coat here, the sort of dark sort of edging on the outside of her coat, using my size 4 brush, working wet on dry using Payne's grey. I'm also painting in her cuffs as well, and what I'm going to do is just leave the right side of the cuff painted and then use a damp brush and just blend that colour to the edge there, so you'll get a lighter edge on the right hand side. And I'm just going to paint her glove as well, wet on dry. I just took off the excess on my paper towel there, and I'm just sort of finessing the detail there. And I'm going to do the same on the left cuff and glove, and also to the baubles and basket, and also on the girl on the left, painting the shadows in her cape with red and violet, painting some Payne's grey on the edging of her cape and hood. As you can see there, with my size 4 brush, I'm just painting some shadows and creases in this girl's coat, on the sleeve area, and also the folds, the soft fold in the back of her coat there, and just softening as well with a damp brush. But this is just literally pure red, rinsing my brush there and just softening as I go. I'm adding a little bit of the violet and red now for some shadows and details on the coat. So I think it's again another good idea to allow your painting to dry. What I've done here is I've mixed up some ultramarine with a little bit of pink with a tiny touch of burnt sienna, so it's quite a neutral sort of violet, and I'm painting some shadows on the snow with my size 10 brush, wet on dry, sort of underneath where the girls are standing. There's lots of shadows there and a little bit in the background as well. So again, I've allowed my painting to dry, and I'm using an old hoghair brush. It's a bristle brush. You could use a stencil brush, or you can even use some scrunched up paper towel to print some white gouache. You can use white watercolour, wet on dry, to sort of create the look of snow on these distant trees. I'm just tapping gently the white gouache. I haven't actually diluted it at all, so it's straight from the tube, and it just creates that lovely Christmassy look in the distant trees. And I'm also going to try this as well on the sort of boots of the girls here. You can see it in the photograph as well. There's snow on the back of their boots. I'll also put a little bit on their clothing as well. I'm actually using the bristle brush here as well to spatter some of the white gouache onto the dry surface here, and it's good fun to do. I'm just rubbing my finger onto the bristles, but also you can use a brush to spatter with, as I've done there. If you like this tutorial and you'd like to see more like it, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you'll get updates of my latest videos. For longer, more in-depth, ad-free tutorials, why not check out my Patreon membership? Details about that can be found in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Happy painting. Bye for now.